Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at the Thomas Jefferson Hour. I'm going to be alone this Christmas for the first time in 20 years, so do feel free to send presents, cognac, figs, books, music, frankincense and myrrh, whatever you have. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I have Christmas plans. I drove up to the Charles Dickens Festival in Garrison, North Dakota last weekend. It's a town of 1,530 residents tucked into the north shore of giant Lake Sakakawea, the reservoir created by Garrison Dam back in the 1950s. This was the 25th annual Charles Dickens Festival. As you may know, the Iliad and Hamlet are my favorite books in the world. Walden is my favorite American book, though Twain's Roughing It and Huckleberry Finn are right up there, as is Melville's Moby Dick. But that for another time. If I could choose just one novel in all the world, it would probably be Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, or perhaps Tolstoy's Anna Karenina, which has perhaps the 100 greatest first pages in all of fiction, and perhaps the 100 greatest last pages, too. My poets are John Donne, John Keats, and John Milton, if you have to choose. But the English novelist I love most is Charles Dickens, which is what has taken me 4 times to Garrison, North Dakota for the Dickens Festival. Almost every shop in town is called Ye Olde This or Ye Olde That, and though I have pointed out a few times that the phrase ye olde was long gone by the time Dickens was born in 1812, nobody likes a snothead. The Dickens Festival is part Norman Rockwell, part National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and I must say that you can spend an awful lot of time at the Dickens Festival without having any significant encounter with the life and work of Charles Dickens, but let's not get tripped up over technicalities. On the way home, brooding about Christmas alone at the Great Bend of the Missouri River in North Dakota, I decided to have a little Dickens Festival of my own this year. I ordered a Mr. Micawber plate from eBay, which ought to be here in plenty of time. I bought a Dickens Christmas ornament at the festival last week. To the untrained eye, it might be misrecognized as Karl Marx or Moses or Tom Selleck, but I will nevertheless hang it on the tiny tabletop Christmas tree that was my mother's favorite. I have a little book I got somewhere years ago called Christmas with Dickens, compiled by Cedric Dickens, the great-grandson of the author. I've marked the recipes I plan to use: leek and potato soup for a starter, then sherried prawns, a small turkey with chestnut stuffing, brandy butter, and Christmas pudding with a coin, a shilling, inserted into it in the great British tradition. The person who finds the shilling gets to keep it and use it as a down payment for repairing that chipped tooth. And Dickens punch. Plenty of punch with rum and sherry and citrus and sugar and spice, the 5 necessary ingredients. And after supper, when I have settled into my favorite reading chair, with a roaring fire in my glass faux fireplace, with a quilt made by my grandmother Rhoda over my legs, an unprecedented extra glass of punch by my side, I will open one of 3 Dickens novels to read one of my all-time favorite passages, Mr. Micawber's Dinner Party from David Copperfield, or The Antics of Mr. Jingle from the Pickwick Papers, or the infamous porridge scene from Oliver Twist. "Please, sir, I want some more." Over the past year, I have purchased 2 new complete sets of Dickens, one on India paper, published in 1923, the other the Philadelphia Bibliophile edition of 1910. With great joy, and perhaps a dollop of melancholy, I will be reading Dickens on Christmas evening, stopping from time to pour myself a bit more punch. God bless us, everyone. I'm Clay Jenkinson.